Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Devil's Advocate Trades Edition. I was going to take a sip of my coffee, but then Michael made a fart noise and coffee would
You,
be everywhere right now.
you press
That's how
record.
you roll.
You press
Listen,
record.
listen.
Yep.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
Hmm, I'm good. I'm good. I had a very long weekend. And your beautiful significant other texts me often, and I love that.
Yep. Yeah.
It literally brings a big smile to my face every time I see her text message. I'm like,
She's a very strong communicator. Yeah, which I like.
I'm like, pick me.
That's probably why I just got a heart emoji this morning because she was busy texting you and, had to get in for work.
I don't think she texted me this morning, actually. So,
Oh, must have been running late this morning. For shame.
listen. Sometimes I feel like I can't start my day without my red text.
Right. Yep.
But no, it's sweet. I love that I'm a really big communicator too, so I love that she does that. But I told her that I would call you guys and tell you guys all about my weekend. So I intend to do that. It's just been recovering because a lot of people at a conference.
Yes. Yes. How was the conference? Good?
It was good.
Yep.
It was very good. I really liked it. Global News showed up. Unfortunately, the mayor couldn't make it, but that's okay. We have ideas for next year, so I'm excited about that because I want to focus on the fact that we cover Alberta
Right.
and not just hone in on the Calgary aspect. So
Yep.
I want to ask more people in different parts of Alberta, and I've been talking to the committee of looking at splitting it up so
Okay.
that we can establish north people maybe in Edmonton and south people in Calgary. So we don't feel like they all got to come to one.
hmm
Because if we're really going to be central, technically we need to be like Red Deer. Red Deer's pretty central.
It's like a concert, right? You go to a concert and they're like, hey, Washington. And people are like, oh my gosh, that's me. Right. So, like, where do you call yourself where everybody gets to say, oh my gosh, that's me. Right.
Right. Right. So, but it was nice though. And then, uh, with all my stuff that I've been doing to help, ACMA, I ended up partnering. I created the deal, but I did it on behalf of ACMA. So we
Mhm.
created the deal to partner with the Edmonton Oilers. And
Oh,
I
very
was like,
cool.
yeah, it's super cool. So I'm going to approach the Stamps and I'm going to approach different teams across Canada to come out. I'll have to approach the lacrosse teams and whatnot, because we're very Canadian. Got to make sure
Yeah.
we drive that home here in fucking Alberta.
Mhm.
But and so I think that I'm really excited about doing that. And the fact that the Oilers paired with us, I was like, that's so fucking awesome. They got a great organization, and the person that reached out to me, super nice gentleman. And so I was like, how fucking awesome is that they're willing to help non-for-profits and and give different like aspects of it, retrieving tickets. And because we're across Alberta, of course I'm not going to say no. I mean,
Right.
Calgary, if it was just representing Calgary, I might be like, wow, it's fucking enemy territory. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But we're all of Alberta. So for me, that was a huge win for ACMA, is to pair with the Oilers.
Yep.
Super grateful. Can't complain.
Where's
And then
Calgary?
they
What are the Flames doing? What are they doing?
fucking right. Where are you
Hey,
boys?
Calgary
So
Flames, where are you? What's going on?
the Oilers beat you to it again, bro. Like, come on.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
So, but it was fun because they did give us 2 tickets to give away for next season.
Oh, very cool.
Super cool. So of course, when I got to announce that, there's enough people in the audience that had come down from Edmonton. So we got some cheers, of course, right away.
Yeah.
I don't know who ended up winning it. I couldn't stay to see who won it, but they seemed very excited. And here's the thing, the nice thing that I like is that whether it's the Oilers playing the Flames or if they're an Oilers fan, they're going to go. They're going to use
Oh, yeah.
those tickets.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to see the new dome over in like the new Red Dome or Red, whatever it is, Rogers Dome,
Right.
out in Edmonton. I can't fuck that up. And
You
he
guys
was
have
at
Rogers there too, isn't it? Rogers also in Toronto? Is Rogers all of hockey now?
I don't fucking know. I just work
I guess
here.
that explains why cell phone bills are so high and cable so high.
Fucking don't even get me started. When Rogers paired with Shaw out here, I want to poke my fucking eye out. My Shaw service was fine. It was fine.
Yep.
Okay. My kids weren't fucking, my kids every once in a while were like, oh mom, we can't, blah, blah, blah. Like it's lagging a bit. It's lagging. So I increased it. It was fine. I was able to do my work, never lost service, everything was fine. My son was the only one complaining because he's a gamer. So
Gamer.
he would say it would lag from time to time, and I was like, you know what? I have a home office, and if my home office functions just fine, I'm okay. But I've had more problems with my service. It's not as bad anymore. Most of it has resolved, but I had so many problems. And then they had the audacity to come into my home and be like, oh, well, it's because there's a disconnect somewhere between you and the street. I'm like, just magically after you guys merged,
Right.
that happened? Like the wires just went, fuck this, and just had a protest? Like what happened? You
I
know?
think there was a lot of complaints about that. I remember reading about it. I mean, I couldn't quote anything, but I remember there was a lot of complaints where it was like trying to get people out of the Shaw old contracts into the Rogers new ones. So there was like these magical errors that were happening and stuff like that. But again, I don't want to be libelous towards Rogers, so I just remember reading some articles.
Listen, wouldn't fucking shock me. That's how they all run these days.
Mm.
And I was just like, they're like, oh, can we put you on a contract? No, fuck off.
Tell you though, Ted was awesome. He was a really good dude. Like what he had for a plan for Rogers was really unique. And then, since his passing, like it's never been the same.
I'm just upset. I'm just upset. Like if companies want to merge, that's fine.
Mm.
But if you're gonna disrupt my service because of your merger, I have a fucking problem with that. The whole reason you're merging is to benefit both sides, or if you're taking over or if you're buying out, you're trying to bring more value. I mean, Rogers is very prominent in the East. They're not as prominent out West.
Right.
So you're coming in and that's your first introduction. I'm like, get fucked, bro.
Yeah, like when I was in BC, it was mostly Bell and Telus.
Shaw and Telus. Those are the two.
Yeah.
Shaw and Telus. Telus once upon a time was AGT.
Was what?
AGT.
AGT. I have no idea.
Mhm. That's what it was a long time ago, before it
Mhm.
became Telus. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll tell you all right. I'll tell you how you suck.
Well, I guess that kind of aligns to what I would like to talk about today,
Yeah,
which is
go.
trust, right? So
Yeah.
trust in business. So when you look at something like, Rogers taking over and you kind of feel like the trust was broken from the absorption from Shaw to move to Rogers, you feel like there's a disconnect there. So, and I think that's
100%.
that's something that happens
But
a lot in business at various levels.
mhm. I agree. I agree. And it's good because that's something that you and I, before we jumped on, you kind of touched on. Let's talk about trust. And so this is a good roll into it because it is. Consumers trust the person that they've taken on as a service provider.
Mhm.
And when that service provider makes huge changes inside of their branches and things start to change, not for good,
Right.
not in a good way, in a way that's impacting the client in a negative way, it leaves a shit sour taste in your mouth.
Well, I think looking at that specifically though, was it I trust Shaw to make that decision initially, or was it Shaw was a choice? I chose Shaw. Shaw did everything they were supposed to do, so it built my trust over time. And then when it switched, there was a disconnect.
For me, I would say that that's probably closely more accurate. I
Okay.
was like, I don't want to be with Rogers. Now I'm fucking stuck. I don't want to be with Telus and I don't want to be with Rogers, but I'm stuck now.
Right.
Unless I
Yeah.
go satellite and then take Bell. But people say, well, Bell is Telus. And I'm like, meh. Bell doesn't have the same rules as Telus. I have a Bell cell phone.
Mhm.
I will refuse to go back to Telus. We might bounce off their towers. They might have agreements with Telus, but Bell and Telus are not the same thing. They just utilize the same. They have an agreement between the two of them
Right.
for towers or whatnot. They're not the same company. At least I don't believe so. Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe there's documents somewhere. I don't know. I'd be very sad in
I
my
wouldn't
heart
know.
if I found that out too. I'd be like, traitors.
I know there's a lot of associations between companies. I don't know if it's full ownership. I don't know if it's partial ownership, if it's leasing
Yeah.
of space or infrastructure. But like, I don't I don't know if trust has trust gotten worse or we just hear about it more. Like, is it because of social media? Is it because of online reviews that like the greasy or that squeaky wheel is just louder these days?
It's a great point, Michael. I think for me, what I see, because I did a session in ACR
Mhm.
and I talked about safety. And I feel like things that were once a certain, so I think there's a double-edged sword here in my personal opinion. I believe that roles that were assumed by people regardless. So if you took on a role because you chose to, or if you assumed duties inside of a role because you were happy to do so, have now expanded into a legal field where you are constantly being scrutinized if you don't do something a certain way or don't check boxes that you should check. And now all of a sudden you could be sued and everybody's running fucking scared. So nobody trusts anybody to do the work properly. Everybody's taking on more and more and more because they don't trust. They're like, if I don't do this, and I think a lot of people have been burnt if
Mhm.
they don't do something, especially in construction. If one guy says he's going to do it and then he doesn't do it inside of the timeline, and then the next guy comes and says, I can't do that because he didn't do his work. And then it just keeps going. And then and then what it's creating a sense of distrust because it's like, I can't even trust you to get a job done in a timeline you've created.
Right.
And
What does
now
that
they
mean?
can't trust to give them the timeline because you fucked me over.
What does that mean? Trust can only exist if we rely on things like contracts, policies, reviews, cameras, and paperwork. Like, is that what trust can only be nowadays rather than actually building that relationship?
I think that actually exacerbates the issue, to
Mm,
be honest. I think contracts people I got hate to say this, but lately I find contracts people look at as up for suggestion,
right.
and it's really gross. I'm like, it's not contracts are not a fucking suggestion. They are a contract. They are designed to keep everybody in line. So I think contracts that are there and you have open, honest, transparent on both sides, I think contracts work fabulously. People who might be thinking to screw somebody over but don't, will reconsider with a contract. Sometimes contracts keep people on the straight and narrow. They keep them honest, right? As the old saying goes. But then I think cameras, AI, pictures, you can't trust your eyes anymore.
Right.
Can't trust your eyes.
Yeah. As somebody who works in that space, I absolutely agree with you. I mean, like anything can be created. But like if you've got all this paperwork, you've got all these contracts, and the trust gets broken, the contract gets invalidated, or somebody breaks the term of it, like who's responsible for rebuilding it, right? Whether that's contractor client, employer employee, or even citizens and government. Like who's the first one that should make this step? The person who produced the contract or the person who signed the contract? Who's the first person to come to the table on that?
Yeah, it's a fair. I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, I mean, I write contracts for a living. I create contracts that are CCDC adjacent,
Mhm.
and I think people will still find a way to either look for a default, create conflict, create drama if they want to. People will do what they want at the end of the day. I think that the world we live in today is everything like we talked about, everything is now, now, now. I'm calling you, you answer now. I know you have your phone. I know you sit with your phone. Why aren't you responding to me? So it was, I mean, in the beginning when you and I, started working together, even you were like, I remember I was genuinely concerned when I couldn't get a hold of you. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a how dare Michael not be there to assist me. It
Right.
was, I hope he's okay. But that's the difference between certain people. Certain people are like, how dare you not answer my fucking call? And then there are some people, few and far between, that are
Mhm.
like, I hope everything's okay. I can't reach this person. And we have normally talked. So I was genuinely concerned. And then that's when you educated me and said, hey, listen, I just fuck off for days at a time.
Yeah.
I don't take anything with me. I go out to touch grass for 4 days.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
And you're like, "And sometimes if I'm having a really good time, I fucking extend my stay."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh,
I
okay."
highly suggest that to people, by the way. Unplug. And when I mean unplug, I mean like don't even bring your phone.
Mhm.
Or like bring your phone, put it on silent, and only like your emergency contacts can ring. Nothing else. Nothing like
Yeah,
and try not to only look at it twice a day. I mean, we survived on landlines before where
yeah,
nobody could get a hold of you. You went on vacation, there was no talking to people,
yeah.
right? There was just the people you were around.
Well, you had to get creative. You had to know what hotel they were staying at. Do you know what I mean? You had to call
Yeah.
the hotel, and the hotel
But the
had to
people
call
who
your
actually
room if you
cared,
were in your room.
yeah, the people who actually cared had that information. The people that were
Yeah,
actually connected had that information.
yeah.
Everybody else, no. Like I'm just gone. I'm out of office.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you.
Right. And this
I
level
agree with you.
of want and need for response time, like people are expecting, like I had one person who said, like, I sent you an email, an hour ago. Why haven't I heard from you? An hour for an email? When did this become the accepted response time? Like an hour? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
because people like me will respond very quickly. So it's
That's
people
insane.
like me who create monsters. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah.
It's true. It's I hate to say it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll fucking eat crow for that one.
Yeah.
Someone like me who responds, then they go deal with you and they're like, "Well, wait a minute. I deal with Lisa. Lisa said that she likes you and you fucking take 6 hours to a day to respond and she
Yeah.
responds instantaneously. I don't understand." Two different people. What the problem is that people's expectation is heightened because one person has done it. And
Right.
so now they're like, it's like all of a sudden they're like, "Well, then everybody should be able to do it because she's capable of doing it." And it's like, "No.
Well, and I think
I'm here."
that's where the balance of, like, if somebody, like, I've had people say, like, I don't think that's trustworthy to, be gone for that long. And I'm like, I think it's selfish of you to require me to sit here and wait for your beck and call. Right. So
Agreed.
there's a balance between trustworthy and selfishness. Right. So that there's so many layers that are built into this. We talked about women in construction, right? As a quick little
Yeah.
side note, there's a trust imbalance of, like, women don't trust men because of their attitudes. Men don't trust women because of capabilities or whatever that is. Right. I'm just
Mhm,
using those as examples. I'm not saying those are actual reasons, but, like, people say respect is earned.
mhm.
Right. I think respect should be given until you tell me otherwise.
Me too. I hate when people say to me, "Oh, respect is earned." How can I earn your respect when you haven't given me a reason to show you the same respect you're giving me? So you want me to earn your respect, but you're not giving me reasons to earn yours either.
Right.
Like at this to me, I just give. I give until you give me a reason that I'm like, "Oh, we're done here.
Right.
We're done."
Right.
Yeah. But to me that makes sense. It's like the proven, you're innocent till proven guilty. Well, you're saying I'm proven guilty or you're saying I'm guilty till proven innocent
Right.
by that logic.
What
Whereas
what
I'm
makes
saying you're innocent until proven guilty.
uh,
I'm telling you the other way around. I'm going to
what
give you
makes that
that
other
respect. I'm
person
going to give you
so awesome that I have to
what
earn your respect? What makes you so I don't even know you yet.
yeah,
I don't even know whether or not I care about your respect yet. But I'll give you my respect freely, right? At a level. I'm not going to be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing," but I'll respect you as an individual, as a human being,
yeah,
in whatever you think, whatever you feel, even if we disagree. And that should be cool. That should be accepted. That should be fine. Until you tell me otherwise, where you do something wrong that hurts people, that, takes advantage of something. And even then, if there's a reason or an accident that caused it, I might be okay with it.
yeah. I agree.
Right. Like
I
we
I
talked
agree
about,
with
we're
you.
both, neither one of us are police officers, right?
Yeah, right?
Right.
Just letting people go. Listen, I get it.
So here's
Life's
kind
fun.
of a personal question for you. What's So thinking about, like, trust and respect, because we're kind of going down that vein, what would be, say, one example of where you trusted or respected somebody so much that led to a bad outcome? And what would be one where you thought you shouldn't have trusted and respected and that you missed an opportunity?
The second one's never happened.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not a tainted person. So I consistently go into every experience the same. So you have, I'm like kind of like a puppy. So I go in and I'm like, "You're so wonderful and great," and I think you're great. Bounce, 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 bounce. I'm
Mhm.
like that with everybody that I meet, pretty much. Um, that's the best way for me to describe it. I'm not actually bouncy. Some people I'm bouncy too, but I'm very sweet, kind, and I want to know more about you. I can't make a judgment call about you because that's basically what we're talking about.
Right.
I can't make that call about you until I have more information. I'm someone who like sucks things dry when it comes to information. I need enough. It's like in my brain, I couldn't actually explain it, but in my brain, there's checkpoints. And if you fail certain checkpoints where it's like a feeling inside my body that goes, "Oh, yeah, that's no good," then I start to back away a little bit. But yes, I would say that there are more times than not where I have invested a lot of time. I did it with someone. I did it for one of the businesses out here for an expansion project and then got screwed over there. I did it for a friend when I helped them move and paid for it, got screwed over there. Did it for another person where I helped them with their entire company and all their HR and safety packages, got screwed over there. I've done so many write-offs in business because people take advantage of me in the sense of they mistake my kindness for weakness and it's not.
Right.
So, some of these people have liens on them. I've gone and just liened the entire corporation and the person. And I'm like, yeah, well, your 5 years is coming due, and so is your mortgage. So, but that's my recourse. And I think, and my significant consistently gets up my ass about it. He's like, why do you do that? Why do you he's like, I can see this from a mile away that they're just gonna fuck you over. And I'm like, because if you become tainted, you might miss that one person that could change your whole world.
Yep.
And I'm not prepared to do that. And I was also put on this earth. So, I go into my little spiritual aspects, Michael. Well, I am a life path 33, which is a master teacher, which means that I am not going to say no to anybody that's prepared to learn or to to come into my world and me help them in whatever capacity they require at that moment.
Right.
So that's kind of a calling, and I always kind of wondered about that, like, why can't I be more like this person who's just like, people that are selective and reserved and kind of standoffish until they kind of like, and that's kind of how my other is. He's observer, right? Stands at the back, watches, scans. He's looking for micro, what do they call them? Micro expressions, micro movements. He's looking at all the nonverbal, and which is going to indicate to him how he needs to respond to this person. 90%. I just tell him he hates people. I'm like, just admit to yourself you hate people. Like, let's stop playing this fucking game like you're like, like MacGyver. Like, you just fucking hate people, bro.
So
So,
you're puppy, he's cat.
yes,
Uh, uh,
accurate.
uh,
Accurate. Yeah, 100%. He's like, yeah, he's stand on the couch and fucking like, look at you and like size you up. And I'm like, oh my God, you want to be my friend?
mm.
I gotta tell you something. Oh my God. Yeah,
So
it's very
I
accurate.
imagine going down that vein because I'm very similar in that aspect where I'm like, if it's 51% chance of good, I'll probably do it. Right? Like if it's well, even 50 actually, maybe even 45, right? Like maybe even down as far as 30, depending on what it is. But like,
Hmm.
but then if it's a no, it's a hard no. And that no never really ever comes back, right? Because it's a decision, you just keep moving, right? Like,
Yeah.
sure, look at your past, but don't necessarily go, oh, whoopsie daisy. Now I need to take that on now because maybe it's too late, right? Like maybe it can be plugged in. But the thing is when these type of things like the trust gets broken, right? Because on the other side of that is because we do that type of stuff and have that trust, there's been lots of situations where that gets broken. But then it comes down to, does the trust need to get broken once, right? For it to be like absolutely never dealing with that again, right? Because you got like people get one bad review, all of a sudden their business plummets. You're like, that's crazy because why are you believing that one person keyboard worrying out there, right? Or one
Hmm.
mistake or one, public figure bad sentence, right? Like, is that the be all end all? Is one strike you're out?
No, and that's something that I talked about a lot on Devil's Advocate, where I talk about that, where I say don't always trust the reviews because
Mhm.
90% of the time it's someone disgruntled.
Yeah.
Because if you're happy, it's like going to the doctor's office. No news is good news. But then the minute there's bad news, there's a phone call,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And no one's going to be perfect and you're not going to align with everybody that comes into your business and not everyone's going to understand your style or like your style and that's okay. There's lots of people in the world that are going to be able to help you in a similar industry or the same industry, right?
Yep.
You're in a part of industry where there's a ton of people. I could have picked anybody. I picked a few before you. And then now you and I have now been fucking doing this rigmarole now for what, since 2020, 23, 24, 24?
I don't know. Just for
I
me, it's
think
always
mid
just the other day. I
2024.
don't have
So it's been a
established
couple years now.
timelines in my head.
Yeah. I'd say between 23 and 24.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Is when I jumped in with you and then you were with somewhere else. And then now I follow you. So wherever you go, I will follow you.
So that old phrase of, like, if you jumped off a bridge, would you? I mean, it looks like fun.
I mean, listen, I'd throw you the bungee. If you caught it or not is up to you, okay? I'd follow you to the fucking bridge, but I'm not necessarily jumping.
Yeah, the bridge I jumped off when I was a kid, not a good bridge to jump off of. I ended up
Right?
damaging myself really, really badly.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
40
a
feet,
guy
my
thing,
head
I
didn't get
swear.
wet.
Was there a lake under it?
No, so somebody had sprayed. So we used to go bridge jumping there all the time, and we hadn't been there for a while. And we showed up, and there was like this old spray paint that was on there. It said jump here, but part of it where the tire tracks had gone across said don't, right? So it was
Oh,
don't jump here. And I was like, oh, jump here. This must have been where we used to jump from. Okay, perfect. I went up. And instead of just going to the bottom of the bridge, of course, I went to the top of the X and jumped. And yeah, didn't even get my head wet. And it was the moment I leapt off, like maybe like 5 feet, 10 feet into the fall, where I'm like, I can see the rock. And I'm like, like you're trying to swim in the air, right? Like, it's not happening.
so how many bones did you break?
Shatter, actually. Didn't break anything, just shatter. So both my ankles. Now when I walk, my ankles click all the time, which is like somebody hitting with my ankles with a ball peen hammer all
Woo!
the
Gonna
time.
get you some ruby slippers.
Right? Yeah. Click, click, click. So I can't sneak up on anybody, right? Like,
You're that guy.
yeah.
Oh, Michael's coming.
Mm. So like after trust breaks, right? So I
Yep.
mean, there's a bunch of people listen to this, and maybe get some clips out of it or whatever. But after trust breaks, because you rebuild this, you work a lot in HR, you write the documents, you write the contracts. So the question is how would you tell somebody when the trust breaks, whether as a contractor or anyone, or even as an employee, how do you rebuild that? What are the steps that they can take to start rebuilding that trust?
Can't. You can't. It's different for everyone. So for someone like me, so I will always, when I go into those conversations of HR, I always talk personally, like for me, because I'm not them. So I'll say, these are the drop dead zones for me where there's no coming back. These are the areas where I could be like, but now you're on a short leash.
Right.
But for me, in HR, if someone has already, like, that saying, believe them the first time when they show you who they are? That's something I stick with very much when it comes to an HR professional component.
Right.
If someone is inherently late, that's who they are. Either you work around it or you get angry about it. You decide. What is the parameter for you? For me, I'm someone who can work with it.
Mhm.
Okay, you're going to be late. Your shift is now this to this. I'm not going to fight you on it. You can't be here for 8 o'clock. No problem. You're here at 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock. But then guess what? I just extended your time on the back. I don't have a problem changing your time, but I am not going to sit there and look at the rest of my staff and have an expectation of everybody to be here at 8 o'clock and you roll in at 8:15, 8:30, 8:45 all the fucking time with no fucking regard for anybody else's time. To me, that is a disrespect of time management.
Right.
Not my problem. You can't figure it out. So because you've now made it my problem, because you've now lowered morale, because now everyone's paying attention, I'm now going to just change your shift. No problem. Your shift is now 8:45 to fucking 5:45. And they're like, oh, well, and it's like, nope. Here's how this is going to work. You take the write-ups, and because you've been late more than 3 times, I can fire you.
Right.
Would you like me to terminate your position? Because I don't want to terminate your position. I see value in the work that you do here. Well,
Mhm.
no. Okay, perfect. So now this is my solution for this. But that's me. Somebody might say, fuck it, you're fired. I'm done.
Right.
Especially in Alberta. Alberta, you can fire for the color of your eyes as long as you pay. In Ontario, it's different. So different places have different rules. In Alberta, like I said, no lie, you can fire for the color of their eyes. They could be working there for 6 years. A new manager comes in and says, I don't fucking like your eye color. I don't fucking like the way you look, and fire you as long as they pay you.
What does that look like
Crazy.
for Alberta? Is it the usual like 1 month per year worked?
What do you mean?
Like for settlement, or does it just pay you up until you're fired and that's it? You get nothing.
No, no, no. So they pay you regularly, but then like what happens is, so in labor standards for Alberta, it depends on how long you've been there, right? So if
Right.
you've been there less a year, it can be up to 1 week if you choose, but they don't have to pay you anything. They
One
could just be
week,
like, yeah, 1 week of pay.
but you get 2 weeks of
Um,
vacation time. Why wouldn't it be 2 weeks?
I don't. That's what it is. And
Okay.
then 2 years is 1 week for sure. So if you got 2 years under your belt, they'll only pay you severance for a week. If it's over 2 years, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, and it goes down the pipe. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I think so. Yeah, it's really crazy. Now you've got 90 days to fire them for whatever reason you want. You don't
Yeah,
need one.
3 month probation. Yeah.
That's right. So 90-day probation in labor standards. Let me just double check because I'm pretty sure it's like you have to be 2 years to get a week to 2 weeks. It's you can't be anything under 2 years before they really start mandating a payout. Now, if you go get a lawyer and they go under common law, they can pay you up out to a month or
Yeah,
more.
that's what most people that I've heard is 1 month per year worked.
Oh yeah, Alberta would like Albertans out here would be like, "Pardon you?" Yes. Yes, please.
Right.
Yes.
If you get fired, get an employment lawyer. It's a free conversation to start. Don't just accept terms.
Not in Alberta. Alberta, everyone's fucking money hungry and greedy. You can't go talk to an employment lawyer without money.
To call an employment lawyer somewhere else. Hey, listen, like they're not the only game in town, right? They might be the only game in that town. Phone around. Phone around.
Yeah, I guess so.
I find employment lawyers, and this is not a knock to employment lawyers, but they're kind of like, like the, hey, did you get hit by a car? Call William Matar, right? Like that type of thing, where you're like,
Like
they're
ambulance
ambulance chasers.
chasers?
They're ambulance chasers. There's a problem. They come in, they deal with the problem, right? So they just give me your problems, give me your problems. So I guarantee you, you call enough of them, one will take a half an hour of your time for free.
So here you go. So in Alberta, less than 90 days, no notice required. 90 days to less than 2 years, 1 week. 2 years, but less than 4 years, 2 weeks pay. 4 years, but less than 6 years, 4 weeks pay. 6 years, less than 8 years, 5 weeks pay. 8 years, less than 10 years, 6 weeks pay. 10 years or more is 8 weeks pay. Insane.
That's
So
trash.
you've given,
That is
yeah.
trash. Why would anybody take a job?
Well, it's Alberta.
I would never be an employee in Alberta. That is way too volatile.
Oh, but you like Alberta.
Oh, I love
Mm.
Alberta as an entrepreneur. I love anywhere as an entrepreneur.
I work for nobody.
Become a
Yeah,
contractor.
I disagree with you. But that's another trust component. How can you trust that you are going, if you go in and you are giving your, like, here's the thing, you've got different levels of people inside of a company. If you've got one guy or one girl inside of the same role, and the girl rolls in 17 or 15 minutes early every day, has her workplace all done, blah, blah, blah. And the guy comes in and just jaws for 45 minutes. Meanwhile, she's doing productive work. They're in the same role, right? But then he's getting a promotion and she might be getting a smaller bonus. And it's not because of it's not because she's female, he's male. It's just the personality differences.
Right.
She's more focused on, obtaining and achieving. And she's basically kind of doing some of his work too, because she's all about productivity. And I've seen guys like this, even if you change the roles and he's all about productivity and she's all about making friends and having fucking long conversations, but she's getting the promotions and she's getting the recognition. When you deal with those type of personality types, how do you, as the person who is all about productivity, have any trust in your company?
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. That's why I say do not, if you can avoid it, do not be an employee ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, we're two entrepreneurs, so we're super biased.
Yeah.
We're super biased.
Yeah.
We're like, don't do it. Don't. It's like people who don't have children. Like, you don't have children. It's like, don't do it. Then there's me who has children. It's like, don't do it.
Well, just think of it from a business perspective. If I didn't have to have employees, right, but then there's the stupid rules of like, if you don't get a certain amount of your business somewhere else, you're considered an employee, and the government comes in and says, well, you're an employee. You know why? Because the government makes more tax dollars off of it. But employers don't want to have employees. They would rather have contractors because it costs them less. The requirements are less. The HR component is less, right? If you don't perform, I don't pay, right? So there's that line separator, right? Like, no, I wouldn't want to have 50 employees. I'd rather have 50 contractors, but the government will let that happen because they go, that's an employee situation because they're always working for you and you're directing them. And
Yeah,
like,
but that's a GC's model out here in Alberta. That's what a GC is out here in Alberta, right? So I don't know how it works for them on the tax side of things. I know how it works for me as a consultant. But moving into your question, I can't really answer your question on how do you restore trust because I don't believe that you can. And I think everybody has a very different personality. For those that are like, it's okay, it'll never happen again, I trust them, no problem, blah, blah, and they restore trust back to its former glory for that person. And then the person does it again. I don't know what their breaking point is. Like for me, if you screw me over and disrespect me
Mm,
more than twice. I am a 3-strike person.
yeah.
First time, I'll chalk it up to whatever. I'll give you the fucking benefit of the doubt. The second time, I'm like, I need to pay attention to this. The third time, you're gone. You're cut off. I'm not talking to you. I'm losing your number. I don't care about you anymore. You are done in my life. And people are like, oh, that's a trauma response. I'm like, perfect. It's a great one. Because for me, if I don't have it in my brain to at any point in time give this person any more energy when I gave them 120% on my side every
Yep.
single time for them to not only do this once, twice, but a third time, it's done. They don't get access anymore. Access fucking denied.
Is that a trauma response, or is that something so simple as it says turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek? Well, I'm out of cheeks. I'm out of cheeks. Like I
I
can't
mean, I
keep
got someone
turning. I'm
behind me,
getting.
you know.
Boy,
Maybe I
doesn't
could
that
give them
doesn't
more
that
time.
decision make me look red in the face, right? Like no.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. By the way, before we like move on, I know
Yeah,
that my shirt keeps slipping and you can see my bruise. That's my acupuncturist. I don't get beaten.
yeah. The trust was broken. You
You
bruised
know
me.
what I said to my
Strike one.
acupuncturist, right? I said to my acupuncturist, I was like, I'm gonna go tell everybody that, the other half did this, and he's gonna be like, I don't touch women like that. Blah 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 blah. Blah. He freaks out. It's like,
I like.
don't make me that guy. And I'm like, it's so fun. But then like she'll like as I had a couple, I had like one like on my neck, I had like one like lower, I had one on my arm. Like I was covered in fucking bruises after I went to see
I
my
just tell them you're playing
acupuncturist.
paintball.
And I was just sitting there looking at her and I was like, and yet I keep coming back. Maybe I'm a beaten wife here. And she fucking burst out laughing. And like, she's like, listen, you like it when I hurt you. And I'm like, that sounds really, really weird. Just
I
throwing it
like.
out there. A little toxic, little codependent, little she, but we burst out laughing because it happens when you're doing acupuncture, you get bruises. It happens.
Sure.
And she's like,
Wouldn't
and she
know.
goes, just throw some arnica on it. Just you got to put arnica on it. And I was like, yeah.
Also, don't know what that is either.
Oh, arnica. So, all the Mexicans and Spanish people will know what arnica is. It is a herb that grows out there, and then they turn it into a gel, kind of like an aloe vera gel. But
Okay.
arnica is good for healing bruises, scratches, lacerations, stuff like that.
All right.
Really good. It's like their version of aloe vera, but they also have aloe vera out there too, so they use it for both.
So arnica is to bruises as bio oil is to scars.
Sure.
All right.
I
Yeah.
don't trust bio oil. I use bio oil forever. It didn't take away no scar.
I'm all scars, so I don't. What am I going to do? Just apply it everywhere? No. Especially now that the tan's getting started, and you can see all the white marks. You're like, that is
I
a. That
know
is
I
a.
hate that when
I
you
have
get
no
tanned and then
idea
they
how much I got.
show.
I mean, I look like polka dots, right? Like.
The polka dot door, the
Mm.
polka dot door.
So your
You know that one?
3-strike rule is kind of like the old adage where there's a husband and wife in a carriage going down a path. A mouse comes across, the horse rears up, and the guy goes, "That's one." Keeps going. Then a deer goes running in the woods. The horse rears up. He goes, "That's two." They hit a bump. The horse rears up. He gets out, pulls out a shotgun, shoots the horse. The wife goes, "Oh my God, what did you do? Why did you shoot the horse?" And he goes, "That's one."
Jesus Christ. That sounds like a narcissistic husband. Maybe a little misophonia there,
Maybe
chewing
I
too
don't know.
loud.
Three
Do you
strike
know what
rule though.
misophonia is?
No, that's why I said I don't know.
Misophonia is someone who hates noises. They are oversensitive. They become overstimulated and irritated by noises, chewing gum, smacking your food, um, like going like with your lips, any type of micro noise that most people, it doesn't bother them. They don't hear it.
Mm,
They're like incensed by it. There are a lot of people in the world that actually have misophonia where you could just be, you could be chewing with your mouth closed, and because they can hear the food in your mouth, they're like losing their fucking mind. They're like the
really?
people who don't like when you breathe. Do you have to breathe so fucking loud?
I think they call
Yes,
that
yes, I
liver.
fucking do. Okay. Yes, I do.
Like, how dare you breathe around me?
Yeah. And it's like, yes, I'm meditating right now, so I don't kill you.
Mm.
So take the loud breath. That's what I feel people should say when they're like, do you have to breathe so loud? Because it's usually women who are like that. Do you have to breathe so loud? Now, my ex was like that.
Okay.
He has misophonia and he was like that. And I was like, he would say things like, did you live in a barn? Did you grow up in a barn? Why do you eat like a pig? And I was like, you really have a problem. You should probably take your food and go elsewhere.
Yeah, if you've got the issue, you get out.
Yeah, pretty much. If you have the issue, then you need to remove yourself because me and the children don't have that issue. I remember I used to, I'm one of those people who like I push fucking boundaries all the time. I know you don't know that, Michael. So, but like when he used to get really, so the kids were really little. And he was like, Jesus Christ, are they fucking raised in a barn? Because they would smack their food. They were just little, right? So then what I would do is I'd fucking take their mashed potatoes and stick a fork in it like a pig chop. And I'd be like, are you mommy's little piggy? Let's eat. I was like, and he would just like, he would become incensed. And I was like, I didn't care.
That's
And I
pygmy.
do it too. I'd like lick my plate in front of him just to watch his face just be like, you fucking no class. And I
The
was
only thing that
like,
bothers me is if people like licking your plate, obviously do it at home, do whatever you want. I don't really care. Like you're at home in
oh
your
yeah,
own
I wouldn't do it
environment.
in a restaurant.
You don't do that out. And like other than like chicken wings or finger foods, like that are saucy, right?
Hmm.
You never lick your fingers when you're out.
Hmm.
Right. And I think that's from a health standpoint, right? Like you probably touched something from A to B or like adjusted your way you were sitting or touched the table. And, you're just trusting that, that server or whoever that they actually wiped the table and got the edges and underneath. And no, they didn't.
Hmm.
Right. So maybe just don't lick your fingers. But I tell you what, if there's chicken wingers, absolutely chef's kiss. Done.
I mean, yeah, there's etiquette for when you're out. I'm not
Yeah.
saying I did that when we were out. I'm saying I did that in my
Although
home.
that would be funny.
It would be funny. I will. I mean, I've done some things out, but we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it, you know?
All right. So we're reaching the 40-minute mark again.
I know we are.
So,
We're gonna do.
I have one quick wrap up for you. So, if trust is the foundation of every relationship, every business, every society, if that foundation disappears, what would you say as somebody who's dealt with this and deals with the contractors, deals with HR, would be one way somebody can handle it? Now that it's gone, it's been broken, there's no coming back. How would you handle it?
Well,
Walk?
what comes to mind immediately is just a parting of ways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nothing
To me,
angered,
I'm not
nothing
going to
thrown,
force
nothing said, just
parting of ways because
yep.
at that point, I can't repair what somebody else has done to my client and for or what my client has done to somebody else. I can't repair that. That's something they have to decide. But for me, if the trust is completely broken, I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I'm going to move right into a parting of ways and I'm going to do it as amicably as possible so that neither person feels brandish so that I can try to basically mitigate any type of real conflict. Because at this point, when trust is broken, conflict is what steps in.
Mhm. I heard Tony Robbins say once, and I'm probably misquoting him, so it's not verbatim, but it was along the lines of if you're blaming somebody else for everything that bad that happened, you better at the next breath say everything good that was a result as well. Because if you
Agreed.
don't acknowledge the good and all you do is focus on the bad, then
Yeah,
you have failed. It's your fault.
that's right. Absolutely. And that's why I say to you, I walk into it with a parting of ways as
Mhm.
amicable as possible. So it's pointing out all of the good.
Yeah,
This is what we came in to do. This is what's been done so far. You're both amazing firms. However, at this particular junction, if you feel that you could move forward, how would you do that? I need to hear from you how you're going to make this work because right now we're at a point of conflict and it's not going to be good for anybody and it's going to trickle down to all of our people. And we
right,
can't have that, right? So you're the leaders, you lead by example. And if your example is that you're going to create this type of environment and you're going to accept this type of environment, what are you telling your people?
yeah. That includes relationships, people. So your employees are your kids. So
That's right.
don't be assholes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Devil's Advocate Trades Edition. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay. Catch you guys all on the flip side and don't do anything crazy.